Hey y'all, welcome to Chez Cherie. In this video, we are making this beautiful three-piece lock jewelry set with beads and cowrie shells. I have them here sitting on yarn braids so you can see how they would sit on the hair or how you would wear them in your hair. So let's go ahead and get to the materials and supplies. We're going to start with our cowrie shell pieces. So you'll need your 3 pieces of 24 gauge wire, your 3 cowrie shells, and 1 of the 6mm gold beads. You're going to take a piece of wire and feed it through one of your shells. Cross it over. And I like to use my pliers to twist to hold it in place once I cross it. So I'll just grab it at the intersection and twist it once. So bring your pieces of wire together and feed on your gold bead. And that will cover the twist you just made. Take your round nose pliers hold your 2 pieces of wire in between and give yourself a little bit of space to wrap around. So what we're going to do is hold both wires at the same time and wrap it around your pliers and then wrap it around the wire at the base. Wrap it as many times as you'd like. And then we're going to end the wire in the back and make sure you cut the excess at the back. And then we'll take our pliers and tuck the ends down that we just cut. And if you need to, you can take your needle nose pliers and reshape your loop and adjust it. We're going to repeat somewhat of the same thing, just without the gold bead on the other 2 pieces. This is for your center lock jewelry piece, and these are for the outside lock jewelry pieces. So again, feed your wire through. For these, because they don't have the bead, I'm going to put each end, wrap it around the top of the shell once for more security. So after you've crossed it, stick this end through, pull it through. And tuck the other side through as well. Okay, once you've wrapped it around, again, we're going to cross and twist at the intersection, twist it in place to secure. Okay. Bring your wires together, and we'll repeat the same process with the needle nose pliers. Wrap it around the pliers and then wrap it around the wire itself. Repeat that process for your last cowrie shell. These are your 3 cowrie shell pieces. Now we're going to start with one of the beaded pieces. You actually need 2 of these in the same pattern. I forgot to mention at the beginning, you will need a quilting hook to wrap around the wire. If you don't have a quilting hook, that's fine. You can use a pencil, a Sharpie, a marker, whatever is a similar width to your locks. So we're going to start by making a loop on the bottom of our wire. Okay, there's our loop. And then I'll go ahead and string on the bead pattern. Okay, I just want to double check and make sure got everything right. Okay, so now we're going to use our hook. Okay, and what I like about the hook is that it has this indentation here, so I can hold the piece with my thumb. So I bring the beads as close to the hook as possible on the indentation part, hold it down with my thumb, and then we're going to wrap the wire around about 5 times. You want to make sure you're wrapping it tight to the hook and also close to the previous wrap. Okay, and before we continue on, we're going to angle this piece. So I want to go back through and make sure that I wrap it as much as I can. And then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and use the tips and grab this wire and bend it down. So that way when it sits on your hair, it's coming down. And that also signifies when you wrap this part around where you should make the other bend to put your next bead. So we're going to wrap this to meet the middle where this is bent. And we'll do the same thing in terms of grabbing with our chain nose pliers and turning the wire up on an angle. Now that the wire is bent, add 1 bead here. You want to hold the bead taut. And again, we're going to turn the wire so we can continue wrapping in the same direction that we were wrapping before. So hold this bead tight and bend your wire. And adjust as you go along. Okay, so they're kind of meeting in the middle. So again, you're going to want to hold this bead tight as you wrap around your next part. And this time we're going to wrap around maybe 5 or 6 times. We'll see what length we have left to do our spiral coil. I'm going to wrap one more time. I've got maybe a little bit over 1 inch left. Here I'm just straightening out everything, making sure it's lined up to where I want it. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and start my spiral coil. You want to make the inner loop as tiny as possible. And then at this point, when I meet back the base wire, I usually switch to my curved chain nose pliers. And I just keep turning it and wrapping it around. At this point, I usually take this to the top of the hook so I can wrap it a little bit better, but I keep it on the hook so that the wire will hold its shape. All right. Okay, we've got one piece down. And you will make another piece just like this, a second piece. Okay, now we're going to make the centerpiece of our set. Again, we're going to put a loop at the bottom of our piece of wire. String on the bead pattern. Here we're going to do the same as before in terms of placing it in the indent of our quilting hook and wrapping it around. This one you can wrap around a few more times, and then we're going to be doing a larger spiral because there's no separation. And you can judge how much you want to leave and how big you want your spiral to be. I'm going to wrap it around one more time. It's probably going to be a little smaller than that, but that's fine. And before we start that spiral, I'm going to do the same thing in terms of angling this wire so this sits in the direction that we want it to go. There's our center piece. So now we're going to bring all three pieces together and attach our cowrie shells. Okay, we've got all of our components together. You'll see the middle piece has the cowrie shell with the gold bead, and the two matching pieces have the plain cowrie shell. So what we're going to do is just open up the loop that we made at the bottom of each piece and put our cowrie shell on. You want to just make sure you pay attention to the direction you're putting this loop on so that the front of the cowrie shell matches the direction of the whole piece when it sits on your hair. This is our finished lock jewelry set. I also wanted to mention, if you don't want to do the cowrie shells, that's fine. It's an open loop. It means you have open possibilities. If you want to, you can add some charms instead of the cowrie shells. And of course, you can mix and match the bead colors, the patterns, however you want to do it. But I wanted to show you the basic process of getting this done. I think I'm going to have to do more of these and in multiple colors. So thank you for watching. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.